My preparedness prompting. Hey everybody, it's Michael with Asymmetrical Preparedness. So right now I want to talk about in this video about what I am really feeling prompted to do in regards to preparedness. There's a lot to it. There's a lot to preparedness we talk about all the time. All these different aspects. So what is it? Is it stockpile more food? Well, of course, we're always working on that. What about water? Building up our water storage? Yes, we're always working on that. Growing food everywhere? Yes, definitely. That's one of my promptings that I've been receiving lately. Whether it be feelings, promptings, messages from him, I don't know. I know that we're going to have to grow everywhere. We're going to increase the size of our garden. We're adding animals, all this kind of stuff. But tribe. Big emphasis right now. With everything going on and everything on the horizon, everything on, coming up in the future, vital. It's vital to have tribe. Been feeling prompting. I have somebody who lives like really close to me, like right here basically, that I'm really feeling prompted to go over there, talk to them. I have a feeling they're like-minded. I have a feeling the way they have their property set up and stuff like that and all that stuff, that that we would get along and probably build a really good friendship for us and for the kids. We have to listen to these promptings. We have to listen to these feelings. We have to put ourselves out there. If we don't put ourselves out there, we won't make any progress. We won't be able to build tribe. Sorry about that. My little princess needed something. And family first. They are looking for rocks right now, digging up cool rocks, looking for all kinds of good finds. Anyway, we have to put ourselves in a situation where we can be receptive to promptings, feelings, to know the direction we should be heading, guidance, whether you feel it's from God or Mother Earth or a Holy Spirit, whatever it may be, whatever you choose via your free will to approach it as. Sorry. But building tribe is so important. I have a tribe. I'm working on a second tribe and adding to both of those tribes also. I know it's difficult, but you got to put yourself out there without giving away OPSEC type stuff, PERSEC, personal security, operational security. You don't go out there and just tell everybody that what you have. You don't necessarily start by saying, hey, are you a prepper? I'm a prepper. I got all this stuff. No. A lot of people are seeing emptier shelves. A lot of people know. I mean, we all saw what we've gone through recently. So approach your conversations with others along these lines. Say, hey, normal conversation. Oh yeah, I picked up a couple extra cans of stuff like that to have a little extra food on the side or something like that because, it seems like the shelves are emptier now. Or they've been out of dog food for a while, so I got a little extra, or I stopped at a couple different places to spread it out so I wasn't hoarding everything that they had, but I feel the need to be prepared a little bit or something like that. Also, hey, I'm working on my garden, or I'm doing this with my animals, or whatever it may be that you're into. Or invite them over, if they're friends, neighbors, whatever, something like that, to learn things like canning. Hey, I'm going to be doing some canning. You want to come over and, hang out? And then you can teach them canning. Good conversation will come up, maybe. You never know. I'm just throwing ideas out there. I don't know what exactly will work for you, but I know the importance of tribe. I know that if things continue the way they're going and they do get really bad, we got to have tribe. We got to have people around us. I cannot do it all myself, period. It does not matter what my skill sets are, what my abilities are, what my gear is. It doesn't matter. I cannot be out gardening in the garden all day long, working on the animals, working on our homestead, and set security properly. It takes a tribe to do this. That's why back when people lived an agrarian lifestyle, growing their own food, raising their own animals, stuff like that, they formed communities. It wasn't just about them all by themselves. It wasn't. They had people they relied on, they could trust, people that helped them out. Setting security. I've done videos on Patreon about that. Links in the description below. It's $1 a month. Hundreds of videos there. Good stuff. We talk about a lot of stuff like that. But anyway, talked on there about the difficulties and the manpower that it would take to properly secure an area, properly secure a perimeter. A lot more people than you think, I think. I don't know. I don't know how aware you are of what it actually takes to set proper security, much less do all the normal things, like washing your clothes, like personal hygiene time, like cooking time, like cleaning time, like all the gardening time, maybe some foraging time thrown in there. There's a lot to it. We all know, just in everyday life, if you're in a family, it takes all the people involved, the kids doing their part via chores, the adults doing their part, division of labor. It usually falls on somebody to do A and somebody else to do B. That's good. It's also good for all parties involved to know how to do the other person's job and skill sets. That's cross-training. Cross-training is very important. If you have a group, you may have somebody that is heavy medically, or heavy comm-wise, or heavy tactically. And then you may be heavy gardening-wise, for example. Cross-training each other so that you're not the only person with the knowledge. If you're a single point failure is what we call it in the military. Single point failure is not good, because if that person goes down, boom, you lose that ability. You can't have that. You got to have redundancy in your skill sets. You got to have redundancy in your preps. You got to have redundancy in your security. There's a lot to it. So tribe is my big emphasis right now. Adding more people. And one thing talking about tribe, okay, and groups, mutual assistance groups. Not everybody has to be, you got to understand, not everybody has to be inner circle, because you're like, okay, I don't have anybody I trust enough to bring in to that. Okay, that's fine. You can have your inner circle core group of people that you have a lot more trust built with. And then this group, and then this group, and then this group. This group may just be acquaintances and stuff like that. Somebody down the road that I talked to, okay, they're growing some food. Okay, well, we talked about that. And we talked about, you know, watching each other's back if things go bad or something like that. You know, you can have those different levels. Everybody you bring in doesn't have to be in that inner circle. I struggle with that because I think in terms, because that's who I really trust. That's who I really rely on. That's the core of my plan, is our inner circle. But bringing in others in other circles is fine. They don't necessarily have to have all the knowledge. They don't have to have access to, the comm plans, your frequencies you're going to be running. They don't necessarily have to know your defensive plans, your security perimeter protocol. They don't necessarily have to know all these things. And even inner circle doesn't need to know everything you have, all your preps. You gotta be smart about it. But we also have to surround ourselves, find ways to surround ourselves with people that we can at least rely to some extent on, or at least have the subject broached, where when stuff goes south, they may show up and say, hey, remember we talked about this a couple months ago, well, now I get it. And now I think we should really work together. If you at least start building that, if you plant that seed, it may grow into something. It may not, but you never know unless you try. You got to try. You got to put yourself out there. Just like I'm here on YouTube putting myself out there. Oh, also, I'm on Rumble. Also, people say all the time, you should get on Rumble. I am on Rumble. Asymmetrical Preparedness. I'm also on Patreon, like I mentioned. I'm also on TikTok. I'm also on Instagram. Although TikTok and Instagram, I don't really care for those, so I'm not as active on there. So, I basically use those as funnels, trying to get, reach people maybe that I couldn't reach otherwise, to get them to come to YouTube, and then maybe Patreon or Rumble or something like that. It's all part of a process. You got to throw your feelers out there. Same with groups and teams and tribes and all this stuff. You got to throw your feelers out there. You got to extend that influence and the chance that you can reach other people. Just like I'm here trying to reach other people like you guys. Oh, speaking of that, if you're interested, please subscribe, hit the like button, comment below, ring the notification bell for all that kind of stuff. It really helps. And like I said, I'm on Rumble. I have 3 videos right now, and as I speak, another one is uploading. So I will have 4, and I'm working on being a lot more engaged there. So that will be an option also. And I have a feeling, what I know about Rumble is I won't have to speak in parables, which I have to sometimes here, just so I can be here and be here for you guys, and to be viable and to reach more people. But anyway, we have to build our groups now. It's just, there's no question about it. Take it seriously and just do the best you can. Don't get discouraged. Don't get discouraged. It's difficult to build groups sometimes. And people are like, oh, well, you got this great thing going on. Yes, I do have a great thing going on. But we also started it with 2 people 9 years ago. So it's grown into something very awesome. But it just takes 2 people and time. Maybe you'll get lucky and find a group already established. Or maybe you'll just get lucky and it'll work out more amazingly than you thought it would. But you got to try. You got to put yourself out there. You got to build tribe. You got to build team. You can't do this alone. There are people out there that follow the lone wolf approach. I give them props for that, for trying. But even no matter how many skill sets you have, David Canterbury, very well-known bushcrafter, survivalist, all this stuff like that, the man when it comes to stuff like that. He runs this wilderness survival school, all this stuff, all that good stuff. But say he is doing the lone wolf thing. He's out there in that stuff and by himself, and he slips. He breaks his leg, he breaks an ankle, and he's stuck in the middle of nowhere with no support, no friends, and he freezes to death. Or he slips in a branch or something like that, impales his carotid artery, and he bleeds out. Or maybe he manages to put a tourniquet on it because of his training, but then he's laying there with a tourniquet on, freezing in the middle of nowhere. Okay, it's just, you never know what's going to happen. Simple, stupid little thing like that. You could get a cut, you could get infected, and there's a lot of different situations. You never know. So I don't like that approach personally for me, and I don't think it's the best approach for most people. Most people don't have anywhere close to the skill sets to be able to do that. Maybe some people do, and maybe they'd be effective for a while. But anyway, I love you guys. Please work on tribe. Please get yourselves out there. I feel this is a big necessity right now. So take it seriously. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day, and blessings to you and yours.